Good day, and imagine this for a moment. Buckingham Palace, usually a masterclass in stiff upper lips and carefully worded silence, suddenly becoming the emotional headquarters of a grandfather with a deadline. Yes, the same King Charles, who waited decades for the crown, is now reportedly racing against time for something far more personal: his grandchildren, specifically Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. And here is the twist that has royal watchers leaning closer to the screen. The king is said to want a much closer relationship with the Sussex children he has not seen since June 2022. That is not just a family gap, that is a royal-sized chasm. Quick favor before we go any further: if you are loving this deep dive into royal drama served with a side of wit, hit that subscribe button and tap the notifications bell. It is free, takes a second, and it helps Royal Top Stories keep the crown jewels of gossip polished. Thanks if you did. Now back to the show. Now, let us set the scene properly. King Charles reportedly enjoys a warm and active relationship with Prince William's 3 children. We see it in public moments: candid smiles, gentle hand-holding, and that unmistakable grandfatherly pride. Those children are present, visible, and woven into royal life like threads in a very expensive tapestry. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, Archie and Lilibet remain more like cherished photographs than living, breathing presences. Loved, yes. Known, not quite. Here's where things get interesting, because this is not just about missed birthdays or absent Christmas mornings. This is about legacy. King Charles has always been deeply conscious of history, symbolism, and continuity. He is not the kind of man who views family purely in emotional terms. He sees it in chapters, in generational arcs, in what future historians might write with raised eyebrows and sharpened pens. And in that story, 2 grandchildren being largely absent is a glaring footnote. So, what is reportedly happening behind palace doors? Whispers suggest the king is urging Prince Harry to bring his family back to the United Kingdom, not for a flying visit, not for a carefully managed photo opportunity, but for something closer, warmer, and more permanent: a proper reconnection, a chance for Archie and Lilibet to know their grandfather not as a distant monarch on a screen, but as a real person who reads, gardens, worries, and yes, occasionally meddles. Think of it like this: Charles waited his whole life to be king. He is not keen to wait another lifetime to be grandfather of the year. And time, as always, is the one courtier who never lies. Reports suggest the king wants this resolved as fast as possible. That phrase alone carries weight. The palace does not do fast unless something truly matters. Now, let us talk about the elephant wearing a crown: Prince Harry. The relationship between father and son has been strained, stretched, and publicly dissected more times than a royal budget spreadsheet. There have been interviews, memoirs, accusations, and enough emotional baggage to require its own airline. Yet, despite all of that, something appears to be shifting. The idea of a reunion in 2026 no longer sounds like fantasy fuel for tabloids. It sounds plausible. Why 2026, you ask? Timing. Royal calendars move like chessboards, not checkers. Major events, anniversaries, and international optics all play a role. A reunion framed around family, healing, and children could offer a softer narrative, one that moves away from blame and towards bridges. And make no mistake, children are the strongest bridges of all. Now, picture Archie and Lilibet in this equation. To Charles, they are not symbols of controversy. They are simply grandchildren, innocent, growing, changing every year. Children who will soon form their own opinions, memories, and identities. And here's the part that hits hardest: if he waits too long, those children will remember not meeting him rather than meeting him. That is the kind of regret no crown can fix. Of course, nothing in royal life is ever simple. Security concerns, media pressure, and deeply personal grievances all loom large. For Harry and Meghan, the United Kingdom is not just a homeland. It's a place tied to pain, scrutiny, and unresolved wounds. Bringing their children back would not be a casual decision. It would be emotional, strategic, and deeply protective. But here comes the suspenseful turn. Sources suggest that conversations, while cautious, are not frozen. That matters. Silence would mean stalemate. Dialogue, however tentative, means possibility. And the king, known for his letters and thoughtful communication, is said to be quietly persistent, not dramatic, not demanding, just steady, like a man who knows that family fractures do not heal overnight, but they do heal faster when pride steps aside. There's also a broader royal context at play. The monarchy is evolving, slimming down, and rethinking its image for a modern world. A visible reconciliation would not just be emotionally satisfying, it would be symbolically powerful. It would signal stability, compassion, and growth. In short, it would look good, and the royal family has always understood the power of looking good while doing something meaningful. Now, let us not get carried away on a cloud of optimism without a reality check. A reunion does not mean instant harmony. It would likely be awkward, careful, and heavily choreographed at first. Think polite smiles, measured conversations, and emotional landmines politely avoided. But even that would be a start. Even that would be progress. And for King Charles, progress may be the goal, not perfection. He doesn't need fairy tales. He needs presence. He needs time with his son and grandchildren before history closes another chapter. So, could 2026 be the year the royal family turns a page instead of tearing it out? Could Archie and Lilibet finally run through palace gardens, not as headlines, but as children? Could Charles be remembered not just as a king who modernized the crown, but as a grandfather who fought quietly for family unity? The answer, for now, hangs in the air like a palace chandelier, heavy, glittering, full of possibility. And as always, Royal Top Stories will be watching every flicker, whisper, and carefully phrased report. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate you spending your time with us.